Welcome to this one last podcast. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to do a little easy peasy episode today. We're going to talk about some Netflix and a few other things. On my left, I got P Breezy.
What's going on?
On my right, I got D Easy, the New Year Slim. And I am Ryan B. Online. So,
before we get going,
yes.
allow me to interject. How you guys doing? How's your 2021 going so far?
Fine.
I haven't really seen y'all since last year.
It's been surprisingly D-free. Fine. Just been working most of it.
Okay.
Not really doing anything different than I always do. So
Do anything special for New Year's Day, New Year's night, and all that good stuff?
went out. I went to Riptide. They started a karaoke show there, so I did that for a little bit. And then I went to Whiskey Park and waited for the ball to drop, and then I went home. Then I woke up and went to work at 9 o'clock.
Nice.
Yeah.
Breezy?
Nope, had food poisoning. Stayed home.
Uh,
Pretty exciting.
Mine, what I did had to do with food, but it was like not food poisoning.
He watched the bowl drop.
Did you?
He dropped the bowl.
He dropped the ball.
dropped in the bowl. There's something.
Dropped in the bowl.
There's something there. Somebody else figured it out.
No, but
This won't last, fans. Get on it.
I kicked all of like the black trends of like eating black eyed peas for New Year's and all the superstitious stuff. I kicked all that. Cause last year was the first year I literally kicked all that, and look what happened. But I said I'm gonna be consistent.
Very good.
I hope we don't lose another Kobe.
Well.
Or someone like a Kobe.
Well, I mean, we're off to a good start with the Capitol getting attacked. So, spoilers, I guess. I don't know if you're-
No, I'll be honest, bro. Like the whole Capitol thing, I just kind of been staying away, man. It's just too much for me, man. Like, Paul, I'm like, dude, like I think 2 weeks before like they picked the president, I was done with politics. I'm so done. I don't want to hear nothing political. I don't care. Give me my little funky $600. Let me. I apologize for that.
Funky has
Give me my
$600.
respectable $600.
Yep. I don't know.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
No, but yeah, I kicked all the trends of like the black trends of like you got to make sure your house is clean before the New Year come in, and can't wash on New Year. I did everything. Me and the twins, we was just having fun. We was just doing all kind of stuff on New Year's. We didn't care. We bucking the trends of like superstitions because I don't really believe in superstitious.
Hell of superstitions. Well, I follow my New Year's tradition of getting pissed drunk, but
Tradition.
but for me, every day is New Year.
How we do.
Yep.
Ryan, what are you drinking on?
Right now, absolutely nothing. I had some kombucha and some water, and I'm eyeing something over there, but I don't know if I'm going to make anything.
Paul, what are you drinking on?
Cranberry juice.
That food poisoning is still messing with you?
A little bit.
A little bit. little tract infection.
Well, I have the 221 BC kombucha, body, mind, spirit, grapefruit, bee pollen, brought to you by Ryan Birmingham. Well, it was brought to me by Ryan Birmingham. I don't know who sells it. I don't know what company.
It's not sponsored. Let's move on.
Buy one, get one free at Publix this week.
Sponsored.
Yeah.
In a
I mean, they are technically paying for it.
Sponsored in a lot of ways. But yeah, I would like to know what you guys' expectation for this year. Let's get into it. What are you guys expecting to happen in your life, in anything? What's your expectations?
After last week, nothing. Nothing.
I was drinking, bro. Don't do that.
You asked the question. You knew it was coming. Nothing after last week.
What was so bad last week that you?
Let's see. The President of the United States inciting a riot and an attack on the Capitol building, while similar images of people doing much more peaceful things with much more aggressive police force in front of them. Nothing happening to these people finally being arrested after the fact.
Were you? Let's get into it. Let's break it down.
No,
Were you
I don't want to
surprised?
break into it. What?
Was you surprised?
Surprised on which part?
Any of it? Like, to be honest with
It's
you,
not about.
like,
It's not about surprise.
To me, this is America. That's what it is. I mean, like, bro, like, no matter where you want to put it, I wasn't surprised. But come on, when in the history of America has it shown that will be stopped?
Nothing I said was a surprise.
Okay.
I'm still disappointed.
Oh, I'm very disappointed, but I mean, it is what it is.
Am I surprised that the Trumpers finally did something? No, it was fucking well overdue.
But here's the deal, Ryan. I'm sorry. I don't
Well, I'm not going to get in on this.
Okay. But here's the deal.
I'm far too moderate to be involved in this conversation between two leftists.
Whoa, I don't care about it either.
Morally, you are a conservative, but politically, I feel like you are a leftist.
Burn down.
Yeah, me too.
Burn down. I was over there like, yay! I'm joking. No. I didn't really pay attention to much of that when it was going on. Number one, I sleep in the daytime, and that's when it was going. Number two, like I said, I've been done with politics. There's only so much. I think the best person to speak towards this is Alfred when he told Batman.
Why do we fool, Mr. Wayne?
No.
Oh.
The part two. When he said, yo, you stop.
He had a ruby the size of a tangerine.
No.
Oh.
He told Mr. Wayne, you cleaned the streets up. You did all this, and you think there will be no reply? Listen, what's going on with the Trump supporters, whether you want to be on their side or not, what's going on is these group of people feel alienated. These group of people feel ostracized. These group of people feel like they're losing something that belongs to them. And Congress over the last 4 years, I'm going to say even going back to Obama, because they was doing it too then. But Congress just fighting these little petty fights with each other and having the people believe that that's real, because if you look behind the screen, they all vacationing together, they all left and right, they all vacationing together having a good time, but they literally pit the people up against them. Wow. Think about this, bro. From March to January, inside of that, you had people told their business can't be operating. They had to close the country down. You told people not to go to work. People that was barely hanging on then, you tell them not to go to work, and then no help? $1,200 freaking dollars? Like, if we realize, bro, that's wrong. That's wrong. And I don't know whose fault it is. I can't say it's anybody's fault, but what I'm saying is there was something that needed the attention, and we paid attention to it. But the people, people still need to eat. Like, people still got bills to pay. Like, those student loans are still gonna be in the mail. Mm-hmm. Those car notes are still, bruh. I was blessed to be working both of my jobs, but I lost one of my jobs, bro. That car note, you know what they told me? You got 5 days. You get what I'm saying? Mm. Like, in reality, I'm extremely blessed because, like, I only lost my second job for, a month and a half? And I had put enough money away, so I could be covered. But people was going through that, and look how in 2020 ended, right? Now, I'm not trying to dissolve President Trump of anything he had to do with it. All I'm saying, it wasn't just him. That's my whole point. And they played with the people's emotions, and this was the outcome of it.
Here's where I will both disagree and agree with what both of you are kind of saying. I agree that it was 100% at Trump's instigation. But to say that they're just Trump supporters, this is the fringe of even the fringe. This is the QAnons. This is the people who believe that Trump is fighting a holy war against pedophiles. These are the absolute nut batshit crazy people. It's not every single Trump supporter that's out there. Now, did he stir the pot? Is he an asshole? Do I hate him? Am I glad to see him out of office? Do I think they should probably impeach him, even though he's only got
they should
9
impeach
days?
him.
They absolutely should.
Because I don't want to pay him for the rest of his life.
Yep. And not only that, but just because of the fact that you need to set that standard. You can't do shit like that. And Mike Pence apparently went on saying that, oh, he's not going to do it because it's a trivial matter at this point. Yada, yada. It's like, no, it's not. That's how you do it.
Pence is a pussy.
Yeah.
He's been a pussy for 4 years.
What's that stuff we see?
He'll continue being a pussy.
Not Pence.
Not Pence.
Not Pence.
Mother wouldn't eat Pence.
But I forgot where I was going with this. We got sidetracked by Pence pussy.
I smell.
But you can't really just blame it on the process. People are still need to take responsibility for their actions. Like, these people, if you ask me, a lot of them are probably mentally unfit. I was reading an article about one guy who was on the QAnon side and all this, and basically he was a perfectly normal and healthy person until he got divorced and his kids left, and then he starts talking to ex people and this and that and the other, and they all have these crazy ideas, and he thinks that they're starting to sound pretty good, and eventually just goes down this fucking rabbit hole where they keep thinking all these crazy shit. Not to discount every conspiracy theorist and whatnot, but there are certain ones that are just out there that are just 100% wrong.
But I ain't even talking about that. See,
These are the people who were storming the Capitol.
This is what they did with
It's not his millionaire supporters. They stayed home.
But this is what they did with the Black Lives Matter, right? They put the camera on the very few that was doing all the rioting and all that. That's the same thing. I'm talking about for the average Trump supporter that didn't go in the gate, cause there was thousands and thousands of there. It's only a select few went in.
Thousands? Yeah. No. You're okay. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is for the average Trump supporter who
this wasn't a citywide, countrywide really, protest and riot, like because both were happening during the BLM movement earlier. In the year. This was one place, and it was one group of people who decided to take it out of bounds.
Well, you can say the same thing with the Black Lives Matter when you had the group of people that took it out of bounds.
Yeah, but it was nationwide.
But I don't want.
It was in multiple cities across America at the same time.
But my whole point is, I don't want to talk about the fringe because we know the fringe are wrong. That's what I'm saying.
You're right, but the fringe are the ones who are mostly responsible for the violence.
But I'm talking about the reason that the ones that wasn't the fringe even showed up. It was a reason why they showed up there. Beyond
they're allowed to show up. They're allowed to protest. You're allowed to speak your mind, but
that's my point.
You're not allowed to break into the Capitol. You're not allowed to burn down a business.
That's not even the argument. That's not the argument. The argument is the whole idea that they had to protest. There's a reason why even in Black Lives Matter, even with the Black Lives, I don't think it was just about Black Lives. To be honest with you, I don't. I think that was the catalyst that got it going, but I don't think it's just about that. It's a bigger problem in this country.
People have the right to have their voice heard, even if they're wrong and dumb.
No, what I'm saying is, I ain't talking about.
They don't have the right to be on Twitter if it violates their policies.
Totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Zion checked me on that.
But if you're standing in a local park and you're not hurting anybody, you're not doing any damage, the cops can't come over to you and say, shut the fuck up and take you off to jail.
Zion checked me on that. I was like, Zion came up to me, he was like, hey, they finally took Trump Twitter. I said, man, I don't know how I feel about that. He said, okay, this is your house. Can I say whatever I want in your house? I go to bed.
That boy's a genius. I liken it to, I work at the store.
Yeah.
If you write something on my bathroom stall, and I erase it, should you get mad?
Yeah.
If I kick you out of my store because I find you doing it, should you get mad?
Should I let you write on my
Should I let you write on my wall?
No. We on the very same page. I'm just saying, in the bigger picture, to me, on both sides, there's something going on. And I think it has a lot to do with the way the country is ran.
Yeah.
I think the Congress, even to you want to say whatever, Nancy Pelosi, you want to say whatever you want to say about stimulus, but there was a point where the Republicans was ready to give her what she wanted, but she did not go along with it because she wanted to wait till after the election. She thought it would help Donald Trump in the election. How you feel about that or not, that happened.
I don't think that's an accurate thing to say. I think the biggest hurdle was Mitch McConnell.
No, but there was a point in November where Miss McConnell came down. She wanted 2.4 million, and he came down to 1.8.
Mitch McConnell never agreed to $1,200 stimulus checks, though.
Well,
And any time that was in the plan, he was denying it.
the stimulus.
Until Donald Trump even said they need $1,200 stimulus checks.
The
Or
stimulus-
2,000 didn't he go up to?
The stimulus thing was never.
He
out.
still disagreed with him.
No, I'm not at all fighting for Mitch McConnell. But this is what was going on with that stimulus part. Mitch McConnell wanted something, and he said, "I'm not going to give you the stimulus unless I get that something." And that something was the herd immunity for the corporations. That if you get coronavirus, you can't blame it on them. He was fighting for that, and that was the send off for that he wanted for that. Listen. My whole point, I ain't finna argue who was wrong or right. They both played politics, and the people suffered.
With people's lives.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I want to say. They both played politics with people's lives.
I feel that no American should pay taxes this year. Because they didn't do their fucking jobs in the government.
I feel like no black American should play. I just play.
There you go, bring race into
I'm
it.
joking. I'm joking.
Thought you were one of the good ones.
No,
I mean, they brought race to it first.
Who brought race into it first?
I don't agree with that. I'm a red blooded American. I believe in taxes, so I believe in paying my taxes. I just want them to be done right. I just want them to be done right. The fact that we got kids barely eating, man. We have kids literally barely eating. We got people in food lines that food lines are running out. When you got that going on,
I find that so hard to believe.
Huh?
I find that so hard to believe. Like, there's so much food being donated constantly.
Get out the bubble, bro. It's really hard out there, bro. It's really hard out there, bro.
I don't know.
It's really hard out there, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. It's really hard out there. I am in a position where I'm in a tremendous position, but people across the hall from where I live at, bro, they go to food banks.
I just don't know how food banks are running out.
Cause it's a lot on the demand. A lot on
A lot of demand, mismanagement, and a lot of it too is pride.
Yeah.
A lot of people just won't go because they're too proud.
But I don't know, man. I mean, bro, you go to California, you go to California and places like Florida and everything, and the amount of homeless. Now, I'm not blaming that on anything. I'm saying these things exist. So you can see, like, you go to California, there's a whole place called Skid Row. And you talking about people that survive off of these, what you call it. So you already have a base there to go and get this food.
I love 18 in Life.
Huh?
The band called Skid Row, too.
But you already have that. Then you put that on top of people with food insecurities and all that, bro. And like, bro, like, dude, you gotta remember the number said that.
I'm not questioning whether or not
70%
there are people who need food banks and things like that. I'm questioning whether or not they're actually running out or if something else is going wrong there. Now, you probably hit the nail on the head saying it's mismanagement, but I feel like that there are so many donations and things going on, food drives coming from a company who donates every single day, that I don't know how it's possible to just run out.
But think about this. Think about the companies that was donating that shut down.
I mean, I still think that there's probably too much food being put out in the beginning anyways for donations a lot of times. Like, they just weren't able to get people to take it.
Yeah, but we talking about like 9 months later.
That's why they ask for canned goods and stuff, because it lasts.
But we talking about 9 months later. Like, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, bro, like, before the pandemic hit, it was what 70% of people didn't have $1,000 into their bank account as savings. 70% of Americans didn't have up to $5,000 into their savings. Bro, 2 months later, that $1,000 gone. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I ain't finna argue over the little stuff. I'm just saying, in the big scheme of things, I can understand. I don't agree with it. I think it was so wrong. But we got to get over this whole, the Trump supporters. No, let's try to solve the problems of everybody. Let's try to solve the problems of black people. Let's try to solve the problems of Trump supporters. Let's try to solve the problems of those who feel like they're, I don't know, man.
Try to solve the problems of America.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Americans.
We'll just start everywhere. No problem.
Yep. That sounds like a great idea.
Well, first thing we need to do is just get people fed.
There's 400 million of us. We'll be good. If we all put in a little bit.
Well, I have an answer to one problem.
Impeach Trump.
It's confirmed. Deadpool will be in the MCU.
Very good.
I seen that.
What else did they confirm about Deadpool being in the
that.
MCU?
Well, I mean, it was rumored. It was leaked before that it was going to be rated R for sure, but now it's confirmed he's going to be in the MCU also because it was a lot of people thinking that he was just going to be by himself.
But when they confirm also that he's going to be doing, they gave him a big deal. They gave Ryan a lot of money, and it's been confirmed that he's going to be in other people's movies. Has it been confirmed? I thought it was confirmed.
I haven't heard the confirmation yet.
Okay, but y'all heard about that, right?
Nope.
I think what they said is that they may possibly use him as cameo in certain movies or something like that, but he wouldn't fit with the rest of them. Now, him commenting on the things going on, kind of like he did in Deadpool 2, you know, where like the X-Men show up, but only as like a very brief close the doors cameo. Yeah, I can see that happening. Or maybe even like exactly like they did in the Fox Deadpool movies, where they used some of the lesser used X-Men to you know, join him in his shenanigans. I can see that happening.
That'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm. But is he gonna hang out with Captain America and Iron Man? Nope.
Well,
Other than for the obvious reasons. Fine. Is he gonna hang out with Spider-Man and Shang-Chi? Probably not.
Shang-Chi, maybe.
you can see Spider-Man just flying through the city and he sees Deadpool. And then, hey, Spidey, I want to go. Like, so funny like that.
I think you're talking I was watching something on YouTube where they were talking about the likelihood is probably that they would have Deadpool cameo in a Spider-Man movie rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that like it could be kind of just explained away as like, oh, it's just some other character, as opposed to like Spider-Man being in an R-rated movie, especially when they're going with the teenage version of Spider-Man anyways, for however long that Tom Holland looks like a boy.
Another 10 years.
I will say that it's interesting because the existence of Tom Holland and Tom Hollander implies the existence of a Tom Hollandist. But I will say this: Tom Holland looks damn good in a pair of mesh nylon stockings. Anyways, yeah, no, where he's dancing as Britney Spears or whatever it was. It was on one of those shows.
How old is he?
No context.
20s,
He in his 20s?
easily. I think he was pretty close to 18 or whatever when he was went through the first one,
Okay,
which is probably like 6 years ago now.
He's playing Drake in the upcoming.
Uncharted. He's playing a young Drake,
Okay, he's young. Okay.
and on top of that, Mark Wahlberg is gonna be playing Sully. And it's funny because Mark Wahlberg was originally pegged to play Nathan Drake when they first started wanting to do a Uncharted movie.
That's gonna be. I don't know. That's gonna be interesting.
Mark Wahlberg is an actor that I both don't care about and hate strongly
Why?
because he's not a good actor.
Huh? What?
He's good at one specific character.
What?
He's good at two specific characters.
Huh?
An angry guy from Boston
Yeah.
and a dumb guy from Boston. If he's in The Other Guys or Spencer for Hire.
And the reason for that is because they're both the same thing.
Yeah.
Huh?
The Other Guys,
What?
Spencer for Hire, fun. The Gambler, that one Boston Strong movie. I don't know what the Marathon. I don't remember what it was. He played an officer. The Departed. Like, he can be a good actor,
Potted.
but he's usually, but too often, he's the Transformers movies or he's The Happening.
Yeah.
Like,
What's going on with these plants?
like nobody believes you're a science teacher. Stop.
I'm an inventor. When your character has to say what they do.
And nothing nothing was an invention.
No.
It was just weird things he made.
It's like it's like a Homer Simpson invention. It was like just stuff taped to other stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yo, they can replace him with Bill Burr in every movie.
yeah.
Wow.
Probably get a better performance.
Yeah.
Because Bill Burr has that damage inside of him. Marky Mark doesn't. Marky Mark's been a famous pretty boy for 30 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love his show though.
What
Not,
show?
not Wahlburgers. Mark Wahlberg talks to animals. It's my show. Welcome to my show. Mark Wahlberg talks to animals. We're gonna talk to this dog. Hey dog, what's going on?
What movie that he did when he was talking to animals?
I don't know, but it was a bit from Saturday Night Live with Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
And it is just great. If you can find it, you need to watch it. I'm gonna talk to this goat. Hey goat, that's a pretty awesome beard you got there. I had a beard like that in the Perfect Storm.
Oh, he was in the Perfect Storm.
He was in the Perfect Storm.
He's been in a lot of movies.
Huh?
Yeah.
There's a wave out there.
He's been in way more movies than he probably should be.
Yeah.
I recently seen a movie on Netflix the other night with George Clooney about like the Earth was like something was going on with the Earth, and they had some
Narrows it down.
Huh?
That narrows it down.
The Earth was dying or something like that or whatever, and they sent some people into space to Mars or whatever, and they was colonizing Mars. So they was like doing some last parts of Mars, and I guess they knew it was dying, but it kind of died too fast, and he was left to tell I don't know what happened to the other humans or whatever, but he was left back to tell the spaceship that they wasn't gonna make it. But somehow he found this little girl, and it was just a really good heart-tugging movie. It really didn't make any sense, but his performance was really amazing.
So a typical George Clooney movie.
Yep.
Perfect.
Oh, Ocean's 11.
12.
12, all right.
Nah, I'm
The lasers.
See if I can put it up. It was interesting. Sometimes when I work late night, 2 o'clock in the morning, I like to see something that's gonna keep me up and weird, and I picked that for a reason. For some reason, I don't know.
D, I'm going to be honest with you. You and I have very different things that we watch when we want to be kept up and weird at the end of late at night.
I do this thing called Russian roulette with the movies, and whatever I pick, I just do like on here. You see how you can scroll through.
I do this thing called
and
The
you just
Stranger.
click like that, and I just watch it.
Was it Gravity? No.
What's his name? Clooney.
Midnight Moon or something like that. Midnight something.
It just recently came out.
Yeah, Midnight something.
Nespresso? Coming home?
Look at your watching it. Anyways, while you're trying to figure that out,
Tomorrowland?
this isn't even news. This is just confirmation to what we were joking about all year last year. It's official. The highest domestic grossing film of 2020 was Bad Boys for Life.
Oh.
Not international, just domestic. International were two different Chinese films.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that interesting seeing that.
Yeah, both of them made almost $1 billion.
Yeah. So this is it. This is how this is how the theater industry dies. Not with a bang, but with a whoop whoop. No.
Yeah,
Not with a bang, but with a Will Smith. It
Hey man, solid movie.
was a good movie.
Solid movie.
Highly enjoyed it. It was my fault this time.
It was a Midnight Skies, by the way.
Oh, look,
Midnight
I was
Sky.
half right.
Yeah. But no, I think the movie was good. It benefited from not having the country shut down.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
But I think the movie was good. I mean, if you were a
Everyone would
person,
have benefited from the country not being shut down, but
if you was a person that watched the first two, you love this one. You love this one. You know?
it was a bit more, for lack of a better term, on the serious side than the other two, which served it well. It leaning a bit more into its maturity, and not just being like, oh, let's try to make Playboy Will Smith and goofy father.
Mike Lowry and,
Yeah.
and Marcus.
Marcus.
Yeah, it was definitely more reflective, both of the characters and the actors.
Yeah.
Because
Which
let's
is
be
what was good
honest,
about it.
neither of them were on a hot streak.
Nope.
I think
Shit, even Michael Bay is on a hot streak.
Yeah.
But Michael Bay didn't do that one.
He still produced it
Oh, that's true.
and cameoed.
That's true.
I mean, the best case scenario in that film is just him coming by and being like, "Hi," being the Stanley of the Bad Boys universe. That's what he should do now. He should just be the Stanley of like the sequels of his movies. The next Transformer, he just should show up and like do something.
Keep
weird.
blowing up. Oh man.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I bet he would do that. Show himself exploding and just masturbate to that every day. Oh man. Oh man. I can see that.
HD.
Now in 4K.
Before we leave movies, I gotta throw something at you.
Leave movies.
Oh, we got more movies to talk about.
Most of this is about movies.
I'm gonna be honest with you, it'd be probably the perfect time for you to bring back These Nuts. I'm gonna throw something at you. These Nuts!
Go ahead, dude.
Tenet.
Mm-hmm.
Would it have been better as a straight to Netflix film?
No. Like, would it have done better?
No, like, would you, like, I don't know, I feel like after watching that movie, I was satisfied with it, but I would have been way more satisfied if I didn't have to pay.
I'm gonna be honest
If
with
I
you.
just could have got that as a part of a movie plan.
The things that I personally found wrong with Tenet had nothing to do with the platform that it came out on.
Well, no, I ain't talking to the platform. I'm just saying to the movie like itself. Like I didn't like to pay. I had paid $19 for it. I didn't like to pay that. If I would have got that as a part of Netflix or a part of HBO,
Max.
which is brought to you by Paul.
Nice.
And to me, I would have loved it a lot more.
We'd like it better if it was a free movie.
Yeah.
Well,
But not free because I'm paying for it.
well, but except for HBO Max.
Well, yeah. Or Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying now?
So, no. Like I said, the problems that I had with the movie weren't necessarily. I will gladly pay for a movie that's good, especially the type of movie that it wanted to be.
But I'm talking about for the movie that it was, though. To me, I would have felt better. If
No,
it would've-
because it wasn't a good movie.
But you wouldn't have had to pay for it.
It still wouldn't have made it a good movie. It wouldn't have been a better movie.
I don't watch some movies on Netflix that wasn't a good movie. I'm like, it's on Netflix.
But here's the thing. No. Here's the thing, though.
Like Wonder Woman. I watched it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I watched it on HBO. It was a horrible movie, but I'm like, whatever. I ain't have to pay for it.
I was not as down on it as some people were, for sure. But it still wasn't good, and I didn't feel better about it. Like, because it was, quote unquote free. It still was a bad movie. Like,
I'm not gonna say it was a bad movie.
it was a bad movie.
One. I'm not gonna say
It had
either
entertaining
one
parts, but it was
bad.
definitely a bad movie. Tenet, same thing. Like,
I'm not gonna say Tenet or Wonder Woman was a bad movie. They just wasn't. I'm not gonna say they were bad movies. They just wasn't good movies.
Wonder Woman was for sure a bad movie. Tenet had some good parts, but it got so far up its own ass that it didn't really know where it was going. Wonder Woman was disjointed. It did not really follow even its own logic, internal logic. Some of the CG in it was terrible. And it was trying to be a lot more emotional than it actually was. And it also made a convoluted mess of the DCEU by having her have all this stuff happen that maybe happened or didn't happen, and she was hiding in secret. She left humanity for 100 years, according to herself, in Batman v Superman. But there she is, fighting crime in a mall, in full Wonder Woman regalia. Oh, but she knocked out the security cameras, even though there were dozens to maybe possibly hundreds of people seeing her doing this.
Well, security cameras back then wasn't as good as they were now. And
Right, but that still are people
People's
seeing
eyeballs
her.
still work.
Okay.
Oh, because she threw the little girl to the side and said, shh.
I mean, but that was in the 80s, like.
Yeah, because
couldn't do that.
superheroes running around the mall in the 80s was very commonplace.
I heard some
Yeah, no. As long story short, no. And Paul and I both saw it in IMAX and paid $25 or whatever for it.
Yeah,
Which
that's a bad movie.
nah,
I gotta pay
if
$25
it,
for that movie.
that's not what made it a bad movie. I will see a movie in IMAX, and if it's good, I don't care about paying the $25.
Good is, see, that's the thing. When movies good is subjective. Cause
Yeah.
somebody somewhere is gonna love it, right?
Probably,
So, like I'm be honest.
and I'm
with
sure
you.
Christopher Nolan loved it.
I'm be honest with you. When you go around black people, the barbershops on YouTube, the black YouTube, tend to get a high rating. That y'all was saying that it wasn't good, but then I was hearing so many people saying it was good. That's why I went and paid $19 for it. Now, me personally, I thought it was okay. It would have been better if there's a 2 where I can learn more about the movie. I'm not considering Tenet was a bad movie. So that whole good thing is subjective. My thing is, if I could have got it like on Netflix where I didn't have to pay for it. Just like with Wonder Woman, I wasn't expecting Wonder Woman to be part 1 as good as part 1. And to be honest with you, I thought 1 was okay.
It just took a shit on part 1, to be honest with you.
I thought
But
one
it was
was
still
okay.
entertaining in parts.
I thought 1 was okay, but like I watched the whole Me and Zion. We watched the whole Wonder Woman 2. I enjoyed it. It wasn't a good movie. It wasn't a bad movie. It's somewhere like blah for me. So what I'm saying is, my whole point is, I'm not talking about to the right. I'm just saying, there's movies, bruh. There's some African movies that I'm in love with. That's horrible on Netflix, but I love them because you get to see stories from other places. Like I watched one movie where like about a bunch of women saying men was no good and all this and all that, but it was just like entertaining. And it was fun and it was free. It was not free, but I'm saying it was on Netflix. It was like
A service you already paid for.
huh?
A service you already paid for.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, like, and that's why I even tell Paul, I'm not interested in going to the movies unless it's an Avenger level threat. So you get what I'm saying? So that's how I judge the movies.
That's fine. I mean, me personally, the price of the movie shouldn't dictate how much you enjoy it. Because again, like for me, going to the movie theater is more of like that experience in and of itself. Like that can enhance a movie for me, but it won't make a movie worse. Like I've seen plenty of bad movies in theaters. I mean, I saw at least half the Transformers in theaters,
Again, those are at least fun.
and probably a third of the DCU movies in the theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, just because I enjoy the popcorn more than the movie doesn't mean I hated my time together. Because then you can talk to your friends about it afterwards and shit on the movie. For me, Tenet, kind of what he was saying, it was just full of itself.
Yeah.
It was Christopher Nolan, who's a great director, and I think we talked about before, is probably the only director left who, by his own name, can draw a huge budget and people to go see it. Because that movie had no prior IP, nothing previous attached with it. It's a wholly new concept. Well, it's a wholly new entity by itself, and it didn't do anything for me. I mean, I've seen reviews online, I've seen different videos on YouTube where people like praise it, and I still don't get it.
I want to say it's real subjective. You know, that good is real subjective. I'm learning that as I get older. That good is real subjective. I like a lot of stuff that y'all would hate, or y'all say y'all hate. So that whole good thing is subjective. To me is, if you're gonna hype up something, I just want it to be worth the money.
Fair enough.
That's it. And that's coming from a person who now I can probably afford to go to the movie theater more than I used to. So money was like real, like I need to get my money's worth. Like if I go out to a club, I want to go to the best club that I'm gonna have the most fun, because I'm gonna have to invest my money into this. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. You want a good return. So what about it did you like?
Which one?
Tenet, yes.
I thought the acting was amazing. I thought the bad guy was a really good bad guy. I thought he was amazing. I loved, and I like when they was fighting. Like, to me, this was the coolest thing ever. When they was fighting in reverse, when the bullies was coming back and everything. Like, and then you go back later in the movie, he realized he was fighting himself. Like, that blew my mind.
That was a nice little
I
twist.
thought it was so cool.
It was a nice little twist, but they didn't go quite far enough with it, in my opinion.
See, I don't know how far they could have gone with it. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I don't know enough to know if they can go further. To me, everything that I saw excited me.
Yeah, fair enough. And I'm not arguing. It did have fun parts. It did have well-directed action scenes.
Yeah.
But the internal logic of it and, like, how does this happen? What is, what makes this in this inverted world or things, inverted things entering into the world, how does it work? When they go into the inverted world, or however you want to call it, they get inverted. Which even that in and of itself, I don't really understand that 100% because they didn't do a great job of explaining it.
And that's why I said I need more.
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand that, but I understood it enough to see this movie through. But like I didn't understand it enough just like to get the movie 100%. To me, that's why I said they needed part 2. They need to go into that more.
You think this is going to get a part 2?
I don't know.
The answer's no on that one.
Traditionally, Christopher Nolan doesn't do sequels or anything like that. Even his Dark Knight trilogy was really just 3, movies telling one story.
Yeah.
So,
That being said, he is open to coming back to Batman now that he's broke.
yeah. Now he
love it.
was $500 million.
The budget was $250. All after the marketing, probably around $500.
Yeah.
He need to go do Inception too.
He ain't gonna be in Inception 2.
Well,
Probably his most successful IP, personal IP, Inception.
That was a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
Well, to help you save some money, movie you're looking forward to got pushed back again. Morbius.
I was looking forward to that one.
Was you wasn't?
No.
I assumed you was.
I don't know much about the character.
He's a
I
vampire.
want to see it, but I don't know much about the character.
Anyways, he was pushed back to October. Now, 15 months after the original release date.
I kind of thought it came out already.
It's a Jared Leto movie, so who knows?
Yeah.
And more rumors. Bruce Willis,
Yeah, I seen that.
my return for another Die Hard movie.
How do y'all feel about that? Ryan, wait. Ryan, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, Ryan.
I think I see everyone on because
I am
Ryan.
utterly disappointed at the fact that Paul didn't take the opportunity to make a Rumor Willis joke. And in Willis rumors,
Bruce rumors.
I don't know. Depends. I don't know how I feel about Bruce Willis anymore. He's gotten a bit nutty in his old age. Now I don't care about him being old. It's about the way he carries himself and the way he acts.
Yeah.
He's kind of fringy these days. That being said, obviously, yes, I'm down for another Die Hard movie. Who the hell doesn't like to see, just some tough motherfucker beat up a bunch of douchebags?
I want Samuel L. Jackson in it.
Be good.
That'd be cool. And we know Sam will do anything.
No, he didn't say Jesus. He said, "Hey Zeus," like Greek god of lightning. Like, fuck with me and I'll shove a thunderbolt up your ass.
So, was that peak Die Hard?
Why you keep calling me Jesus?
The first one.
The third one. Yeah. For
I'm
me,
kidding.
yeah. It goes. I don't know. Number one to me is probably the best one. Number one, number three, number four, number two. Just because number two had some good scenes, but it definitely slowed down. Like it retreaded too much stuff from one. Four at least
It
sought
was
to
the
innovate.
80s, what they did.
Yeah. Four at least sought to innovate, and I'm glad there's only been four of them made. Only four.
As far as the new one with him, it depends on to me who writes it and who directs it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm concerned how they're going to do it if Bruce Willis will only be on set for 3 days. 'Cause that's what he does now.
Yeah. That's why. That's what I'm talking about. Like I don't know
He just
how
seems-
I feel about it. It's just he's not himself. He's not the guy he was when he came up.
When did he become the worst?
When I don't know. Maybe when nobody.
Girl left him.
Nah, he was fine after that. But
I'm trying to figure out when it happened when he just like became miserable.
he had to co-parent with Ashton.
So I don't know. I'm not sure when it happened, but it's where we are. I mean, I would love for a fun Bruce Willis to come back and do a fun John McClane movie. But I feel like he's just become John McClane in real life and just hates everything.
Yeah, but even John McClane was at least fun in that way.
Not in the fourth movie.
He was a bit.
He was an asshole.
He was a bit miserable.
He was just fucking miserable.
Well, at that point, he was an analog guy in a digital age. But listen, the books that those movies are based on kind of got super conservative, anyways.
Oh, listen. We're far off the range as far as like even like going back to source material at this point. John McClane became a fucking superhero in that movie.
Yeah,
But
riding a Harrier jet,
fun as it is,
killing a helicopter with a car.
listen,
That was
great
peak Die
scene.
Hard.
That
was peak Die Hard.
That was peak Die Hard.
It was all downhill after that.
It was a toss up between
It's a
that
shame that
scene.
they didn't make another movie, though.
It was a toss up between that scene and the scene where he's in his boxers with the Edward sandwich side,
Yeah.
sandwich board.
What was he doing? He was singing or something.
Yeah, singing something stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like his character.
Simon Says. Jeremy Irons.
What is you saying?
I like his character in Cop Out.
Actually, never saw Cop Out.
I mean, it was basically just Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you bring that to that movie,
Cop Out was fine. I liked it.
I thought it was wonderful.
Trace Morgan did his thing.
Your boy did his thing too.
Kevin Smith.
I think his name. No, from American Pie.
From what?
Scott.
American Pie.
Oh,
Sean William Scott.
Sean William Scott.
Yeah, he did his thing too.
Yeah, it was a fun movie.
I prefer the original title for that movie. Couple of dicks. Yeah, so when they were in production, I guess Kevin Smith, who what did he do? He wrote it or he co-wrote it or?
I think he co-wrote and directed it. Yeah.
But he wanted to call it A Couple of Dicks, like because detectives.
I think he should do one. He should do New Die Hard.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
He will never work with Bruce Willis
Yeah,
again.
he didn't like working with Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis apparently was unprofessional or whatever.
And to me, I've never heard him say that about
I
anybody.
mean, he worked for Harvey Weinstein for quite a few years. It was a different time. Beat you to it.
He's fine. He didn't like men.
What?
He's fine. He didn't like men.
Yeah, I don't know. It would. Yeah, I think I agree with you. D. It would be depending on who wrote it, who directed it, who else starred in it. If they tried to like do another one with bringing his kids into it, having Mary Elizabeth Winstead as his daughter was fine because she wasn't in it that much. But they try to pair him with the other guy in that movie that they didn't make. I don't think that it like worked. Like
Was
he's
that his real daughter?
no, Mary Elizabeth. No, kind of looks like Rumor Willis. But it would depend on how they brought it back. It would be interesting to see them bring back in Zeus and just like is Reginald Val Johnson still alive?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I mean, like I said, at the end of the day,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to assume that you knew.
at the end of the day,
I'm funny. I'm laughing. You questioned it.
Yeah.
Like,
listen,
I don't know, man.
at
I
the-
can't keep track of all these people dying these days, man.
at the end of the day, the biggest factor is
Tommy Lasorda died.
The biggest factor is Bruce giving a shit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what kind of script you got, good or bad. If he doesn't give a shit, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work anyways.
So
that's sad to me.
it could be his Marshall Mathers LP2, or it could be his. What was the one that sucked?
Kamikaze.
Kamikaze. Yeah.
And I
I don't think that was half as bad as people put
Yeah,
that one
it's
out.
like
He had some really interesting flows on that.
Yeah.
I just don't think that he had a goal in mind other than just talk shit about people.
Well, I think the thing is that people don't appreciate rap. And for the most part, people don't appreciate rap no more.
People don't appreciate the skill of rap.
That's what I'm saying.
They like the pageantry of hip hop, like that whole.
They just want to hear a beat and some people say
Yeah.
some stupid words.
But the ability to utilize rhythm and words and rhymes and word play, people don't seem to care about that much anymore. You're absolutely right.
Like ain't gonna lie. Sometimes Eminem just it's in the Eminem segment, but sometimes Eminem just go over their head.
Yep.
But anyway, let's get back to Bruce Willis.
I'm over Bruce Willis.
So, segue. Something we haven't talked about. We lost a legend, MF Doom.
Oh yeah, Doom.
So I never really got into him. I started listening to some of his stuff recently just because I was like, all right, I've been hearing about him for years. And I'm like, all right, maybe I should finally listen to this dude. It's good. Old school hip hop.
Yeah.
Old school rap.
And he was like one of the first ones to be on his own wave and doing it myself.
Yep.
And the thing is, though, like they kept that quiet for a while because he died on Thanksgiving. on Halloween.
Yeah. Well, did he die or was he put in hospice?
No, he died on Halloween.
Okay.
And they just let it out the bag. I'm like, yo, that's some Black Panther level stuff.
Could he be the Prince of Rap?
A lot of people say that.
Yep.
A lot of people say that. But he was his own man. He was his own man, lived on his own terms.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he did music on his own terms, and to me, that's the type of artist that's how rap used to be.
Yeah. With NWA.
Now,
Run DMC. I mean, not so much, but.
now, like, because I'm a music producer, now everything is about templates. You want a template to sound like Drake. You want a template to sound like this person, to sound like that person.
Back in the day, it used to just be coincidence that you sounded alike because those were the instruments that were available. That was the samples that were available. Now you're exactly right. You have every sonic possibility in the world, like every possible combination of frequency and amplitude and different things that you can use to change and mold your sound. And all you want to do is you want to get them triplets, hi-hat triplets.
That's bro. Like it's as a person who listens to music from a different form, a different way. So when I listen to music, because I'm a producer, I listen to music like somebody who would be watching a person bake a cake. You see the instinct that goes into it. So I see when I hear the hi-hats, I hear which kind, I hear how it's come together, I hear the instruments and everything, and it's like just call it Drake too.
Yeah.
Just say you did. Like everything sounds, it's so boring, bro. It's like so boring. Music is so, and that was one of the things I like about this new album with Eminem is because when you listen to the tracks that Dre did,
Yep.
you understand what. I don't understand, it would be disrespectful. I'm saying you can understand why he can catch an aneurysm because this dude think on a different level.
Well,
This dude is on a different level, bro.
but at the same time, and you know, I'm not really excusing a lot of the current producers that are doing exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But Dre has that authority
Yeah, he can do it.
that he can just he's King Dick.
Yeah.
Like he's like, if I want to do something different, I want to do something weird, I want to use a sample from the '70s, I want to do this, do that. He can do that, and nobody's gonna question him. And if it's good, it's good. Whereas I think a lot of younger producers, if they want to do something like that, they put it out there. It can still be good, but won't be recognized nearly as much.
Well, it's not even that. It's this. Everybody's trying to get to the bag.
Yeah.
And they think, okay, well, Drake is getting the bag. Let me sound like Drake so I can get the bag. When I make, I'm not saying I'm on that level. I'm not saying I'm not on that level.
The problem with that is Drake is already oversaturated the market with Drake.
But not just Drake. I mean, you got those who produce just like Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Like no one goes anymore and say, okay, let me just pick some instruments out and make music.
Yeah.
No one does that no more. You got presets and templates and all this, and it's because everybody is afraid to be different because they worry will it be perceived. Will I get paid for it? I want to get to the bag. Would somebody want to put this on their album and all that? And like, it's art, and it's not just that. It's art. Period.
Yeah.
It's art. Period. When you go to movies in the black community, everybody's trying to do them like. Seems like everybody's trying to do them like Madea. What's his name?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. Not the Madea movies, but the way he do his non-Madea movies.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to do them like that. You know what I mean?
Everybody's trying to make the next Alex Cross.
Yeah. He's just an actor. He did right though. We gonna blame everything.
I'm just fucking with you.
We gonna blame everything on him now. We gonna blame something, not everything. But I just think the creativity in art right now is down.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to be accepted. When art, art is literally, bro, a form of expressing yourself. That's all that art is. You expressing yourself. I'm a part of a lot of different.
Express yourself.
I'm a part of a lot of different like beat making groups on Facebook, and the biggest question I see the noobs ask is, how do I do this like this? How do I do this like this person?
Yep.
How do I do this like that person? How do I get good? And I try my best. Like, listen, man, there is no rules to this. There's no rules, bro. Like art, there's not supposed to be no rules to it, bro.
Yeah.
I remember one time I talked to Paul, right, and this when I was first starting to write strips, and he was like, the story can be as long as it needs for you to tell it. I used to think, well, no, there got to be like a certain amount of before the story must end, and he was like, no, as long as you need to tell the story. You know, it's that freedom of doing you.
Yeah.
You know, like just being you. Don't let. I don't know. It's just,
And I think our podcast is an absolute exemplification of that spirit, because we take a 30-minute topic and stretch it out to 2 hours.
Currently 57 minutes.
There we go.
but that's who I am.
And half of this stuff wasn't even on the list.
But man, you knew we were gonna get. We knew we were
Art.
But it's the truth, though, man. Like I don't like things that the creativity needs to be free.
It should be, but you gotta say what you want to say. If you want an audience,
I think the audience will come.
for part of it, they'll also go.
I think if you look at Prince. Prince is the best example of the audience will come.
Yeah. But even Prince chose to not release a lot of stuff.
Well, that was because of the
There's a lot of reasons for that, but yeah.
that was because of the fight that he was having with the record labels.
But do you think he would have released it if it weren't for that, or do you think he would have still kept some of his stuff to himself because he just didn't want to release it, or he didn't think it was the right message he was sending? Even if he thought it was good, I'm sure he knew it was good because he knows what he's doing. But
That's not true. That's not true, right? So
he didn't know what he was doing.
no, it don't have to be good because you did it, right? So I got some music that I go back and listen to from like maybe 4 years ago, and 4 years ago it was amazing.
Mm.
Now it's just like it's not a good sound anymore. So it could be that too. You know what I mean?
Play it for an audience, see what they think.
Well, he did that. That was one thing.
You.
I said this month I'm gonna release my first 4 albums.
Somebody else might still think that it's good. Like you as an artist and you as a creator, you're gonna be probably your biggest critic, anyways. So I don't know if saying that you don't think it's good when you look back on it means that it's not good. It may be that you have determined that is no longer what your message, it's no longer your style, it's no longer what you're trying to put out there, and you think as a result, it's bad. But the truth is, it meant what it meant when you made it, and it was reflective of you at that time, and now you're just a different person.
And I think that's what I mean with Prince too, because when you make art, you put yourself in the art, and like me, I'm not who I was 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so to bring me up 6 months ago, I cringed.
Paul's not who he was a week ago.
So I don't know, but I just like this podcast. I really think the best thing about this podcast is that we free.
Yeah.
Like we can talk about movies. We can talk about Doom.
Yeah.
You know, like we can do whatever we want. We can do literally whatever we want, and people are gonna pick up on that. They're gonna pick up on that. Entertainment. People are gonna be entertained, man. And if we say, okay, well, let's do like Joe Rogan. That's basically what's going on in the music industry.
Yeah.
Let's do like Joe Rogan. Let's do like whoever. No, let's do us.
It's funny because I think that Joe Rogan started his podcast trying to be like Howard Stern. It's funny how talk shows turn to podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The podcast market is something else, though, man.
It sure is.
It's something else. Like literally, man. Like what I do in podcasts or what I listen to in podcasts, y'all might not ever listen to. What you may listen to, me and Paul might not ever listen to. So it's just it's so many markets out there. Like, did y'all know? I just found this out. There's a crime podcast market thing.
Oh yeah,
Where they talk about different crimes and stuff like that.
Yeah, women love that shit.
they do.
Every woman I know has listened to at least 3 of those things.
I did not know that.
All women care about is murder. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh,
It's all
man.
I listen to. All mine are all comedy podcasts, all I listen to, and all they care about is murder.
It gives them a wet ass pence. Is that what it means?
I ain't
Anyways,
saying nothing to this. I'm done. I'm done. I'm dead in this.
well, I'll say one positive thing from last year. It seems very minor now compared to everything that's going on, but because of the pandemic, the U.S. had a 10% decrease in greenhouse emissions last year.
Nice.
Nice.
2 things about that. 1, it's our lowest number in 3 decades. 2, only 10%?
Yeah, I thought it'd be more than that. I thought it'd be more than that, bro.
Motherfuckers don't stay home.
I drive Prius.
That's day 1. That's day 1.
I don't drive anywhere. I Uber.
I'm amazed it's only 10%. Anyways, that's just fucking whatever. That's whatever. So another surprise. Another game is being optioned for a series. Risk.
Really?
The game Risk, owned by Hasbro, is being optioned as a TV series.
It's gonna be interesting to see.
Being developed by the same guy who adapted House of Cards for Netflix.
I would like to see a Game of Thrones / The Tudors-esque Risk TV show.
There's a solid chance it may be something similar to that. Probably more modern. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. There's literally no information about it. They just announced that they're going to do it. So we'll see. Which I guess leads us to, I don't know, the last topic. Kind of, unless you guys want to throw in 15 more things.
Probably.
So Netflix
swing it.
announced part of their strategy to release a new movie every week this year. At least one new movie every year. They released a little bit more detail about some of their exclusives this year. So in no particular order, I'll say them. We can talk about it as much as you guys want to. The first one, and again, this is no particular order. Army of the Dead with Dave Bautista, directed by Zack Snyder.
I can't see him in that.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I'm about to tell you. If you don't interrupt me. It's described as a American zombie heist film.
Ooh.
The movie takes place after a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas as a group of mercenaries team up to take the ultimate gamble, venturing to the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted. That is the most Zack Snyder statement I've ever heard in my life.
I'm interested now.
Besides
Zombies, but what if?
Another movie, Thunder Force, with Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer.
I like both of them. They're funny.
See, it explores a world where supervillains are commonplace. 2 estranged childhood best friends reunite after one devises a treatment that gives them powers to protect their city. There's a screenshot of them in these like superhero outfits. And it's kind of funny because they didn't go through the superhero workout. It's still just Octavia Spencer and Melissa McCarthy.
I have a question.
That's so good.
Go on.
Supervillains are commonplace, but superheroes are not?
That's all it says.
Okay.
That's all it says. No more information. That's it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a very nihilistic view of humanity, which is probably accurate.
Now, this was very interesting. We'll definitely catch Dee's attention. Concrete Cowboy, starring Idris Elba. It's a Western that takes place during one summer in North Philadelphia, where a troubled teen is caught between a life of crime and his estranged father's vibrant urban cowboy subculture. And it's a picture of literally Idris Elba and his son on horses in the middle of Philadelphia.
I'm done. I'm in.
So it's like it's probably like the 70s, 80s maybe. Like it's definitely like more modern than you would think.
You ain't that Western.
It is. I'm gonna be honest. His shirt's unbuttoned a little too low for my own comfort. It made me question.
Moist.
Yeah.
That's trying to get women.
What?
They
Oh no,
trying to
it's
get women.
him showing up does that. All right. Don't Look Up with DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, and Jonah Hill. Tells the story of two low-level astronomers who must go on a giant media tour to warn mankind of an approaching comet that will destroy planet Earth.
Interesting.
Yeah, DiCaprio.
So, funny thing about comets is they're mostly made out of ice. So it's like a giant version of Titanic, is what you're saying. A giant reverse version of Titanic.
I'm not saying that.
The iceberg is coming for the ship.
Fun fact. Not a fun fact. A weird fact. So have you guys watched The History of Swearing on Netflix yet?
Waiting for them to release all
Part of
the
me doesn't believe that Nick Cage realizes it's a comedy. He's the host of the show.
Yeah.
The first episode is about fuck. Great
Well, it
start.
should be.
Great start. They also reveal who the top what actors say fuck the most on camera.
Who the top fucks are.
So you expect to see some there. De Niro, DiCaprio. But do you know who number one was?
Joe Pesci.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Nope. He was number 3.
Interesting.
Number 1, Jonah Hill.
Really?
Yeah. Wolf of Wall Street did some damage in that movie. He said it. I think in that movie, I think he said it 104 times or 166 times. He said it over 100 times in that one movie. It's also another reason why DiCaprio was on the list because of that movie specifically.
Who number 2?
I forget. But I was surprised that he was only like maybe he was number 2. But either way, he was either number 2 or 3. He wasn't number 1.
If he didn't do the Marvel movies, he'd be up there.
He did other movies too.
He's in a lot of stuff. Like, he's in a lot of stuff that doesn't even get to theaters.
Anyways, that's that movie. Another movie, Escape from Spiderhead, with Chris Hemsworth and Miles Teller.
Thor and Mr. Fantastic.
Set in the not-too-distant future, at a time when 2 young convicts are grappling with their pasts, in a facility run by a brilliant visionary who experiments on inmates with emotion-altering drugs. The only screenshot of this movie is them on a boat.
I'm on a boat! I'm on a boat!
I mean, I'm usually down for a Chris Hemsworth movie, so
Yeah. Extraction was good.
Extraction was really good.
Was Extraction good, or was it good because of Netflix?
Netflix. Netflix made it better.
Nah,
I wouldn't want
he
to.
was good.
Nah, Chris Hemsworth made it better for him.
So it was a solid movie.
I
I don't know what you're hating on.
would have paid $19
I don't have to,
for
but
it. I would have paid $19 to see that.
Oh, 19? Come on. Where'd you go to see pay $19 for Tenet, by the way?
Off of Apple. I bought
Ew.
it.
Ew, you dumb.
I got a collection.
A trash collection? I don't understand. You recycling? You make money on the side?
I may have
look at all the lovely people, look at them.
I may not be shaking something.
Sweet Girl.
Wet pants somewhere.
Wet ass pants.
Why do you say that right after I say Sweet Girl? Ew, gross. Anyways, the movie titled Sweet Girl with Jason Momoa. Momoa portrays a devastated husband who vows to bring justice to the people responsible. Sorry, what?
Sweet Girl, when he plays a devastated husband.
Oh, is that the funny part?
That's funny.
A devastated husband?
That's funny. Go ahead.
A man whose life is destroyed?
Everybody want to wife this dude, but he can't say wife.
All his wives are dying or killing him, or
Yeah, because they're always bleeding to death because he's so cut.
That's true.
it's true.
Momoa
Somebody needs to
portrays
get a
a
Band-Aid.
devastated husband who vows to bring justice to the people responsible for his wife's death while protecting the only family he has left, his daughter.
I know it.
Literally all information about that I know about this movie. They show a girl on a bus. I'm assuming that's his daughter, but that's all the information on that. So here's the big swinging dick in their catalog this year. Red Notice,
Red Notice?
starring The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot.
Is this a Fast and Furious spinoff?
The plot, sort of. The plot centers on a global alert to hunt and capture the world's most wanted. But when a daring heist brings together the FBI's top profiler and two rival criminals, there's no telling what will happen. I'm fairly confident Dwayne The Rock plays the FBI agent, and Gallon Reynolds play the other two.
Can I read that in the movie guy voice?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
The plot centers on a global alert to hunt and capture the world's most wanted. But when a daring heist brings together the FBI's top profiler and two rival criminals, there's no telling what will happen. This summer, Red Notice.
So good. It's so good. I love
Does it work? It works better?
So,
Wait, pause. Go back and read the one with your boy.
With Jason Momoa? A husband devastated by loss vows to bring justice to the people responsible for his wife's death while protecting the only family he has left, his daughter. Jason Momoa stars in Sweet Girl.
You should say Jason Moore is
Sweet Girl. Jason Momoa is Sweet Girl.
Bro, why'd you read that to me, bro? You changed my night.
I'm confused why the part you're stuck on is devastated husband. Why that's the part? Like you talk about my dark humor all the time.
No, but it's funny because like every woman think he's never devastated. He's like the most perfect guy, and now he's devastated, and women gonna be like, "Oh, I feel even more sorry for him. He's gonna look hotter now." It's impossible. He got my lady. He took my old lady from me.
Which one he know? Lisa Bonet?
Yeah, he took.
Yeah.
What's the name? Not Lisa though.
Who is it?
For the Cosby Show. What's the name? What was her name in the Cosby Show?
Oh shit. I don't know. It's taking too long though. But yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, you still want to talk?
He took Denise from me.
D Nice?
D nice, yes. So I guess to cap off some real quick, you looking forward to the halftime show this year, D?
Wait, first of all, is there any more devastation than men on there?
No, I know.
Bro, they picked this little picture of him when he's so sad, devastated.
It's their synopsis. I copied it from the website.
It's just that funny, dude. Go ahead, what you was at?
So, what do you think about this year as a halftime show?
What did they announce?
It's gonna be The Weeknd.
The Weekend?
Like the real weekend?
Yes.
Or you gonna
The
be
black
on the
one.
weekend?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
His hair's
Monday, it's Memorial Day.
his hair's still a little short.
Didn't he have surgery or something like on the face?
No.
He just got a haircut.
That was prosthetics for a video.
Okay.
Yeah, like performance art, whatever.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
He's still riding high on the song that came out like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Damn you, TikTok.
Flashing lights.
I don't have a thought. I don't have a thought. I don't. I mean, I'm not a big fan of The Weeknd. And my mom said, if you don't got nothing nice, they don't say nothing at all.
Well, what I think is more funny about it is like every year I have the same thought about it. I'm like, well, who's gonna do it? It's just like nobody wants to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Rock Nation's still in charge of this? All right, good luck, guys.
So this is what Jay-Z was put together. The Weeknd?
Guess you can't do Shakira or J-Lo every year. All right.
Yeah.
That was wonderful last year.
That was, but The Weeknd isn't either one of those.
He sure is.
I would like them to do like a mashup. Kind of like how they do verses.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm just thinking about mashing up J-Lo and Shakira. Sorry, go on. Sorry, I was emotionally devastated
His
from
pants
it.
is a bit wet.
That was a lot.
He just wet his pants.
Did we just change the meaning to WAP?
I guess wet ass pants. It's certainly not wet ass Shapiro.
His pants is dripping.
Yeah.
I'm done, bro. I ain't got nothing to say, bro. I don't like The Weeknd. I don't care about The Weeknd.
Macaroni in the pot. So, I, knowing nothing of The Weeknd, other than the cocaine song,
I can't feel my face.
yeah,
How could they let him play that at the Super Bowl? Never mind.
don't matter, because he doesn't explicitly say that it's about cocaine.
You know what?
You can say whatever you want as long as you only imply it. Look at Donald Trump. He can incite a riot and an attempted coup, but he didn't actually say, you guys need to go in and do this.
First of all, it wasn't a riot. It was an insurrection.
It was a Pence-rrection.
Oh, what? I think we got the episode name.
Pence-rrection or WAP? Wet ass Pence. Pence-rrection.
Y'all got to spell that up. Wait. Pence-rrection. Devastated. Devastated Justin Momoa.
Pence-rrection. Devastated Momoa. Devastated Aquaman. Devastated Aqua
Momoa
husband.
in Devastation.
Yeah.
I'm done. I got nothing to say, bro. Y'all got me over here laughing, bro.
So I don't know. It seems like most years it's very hit or miss with the halftime show, anyways. Like, I didn't even really remember that it was J-Lo and Shakira until you mentioned it, mostly because I had other things to worry about for the rest of the year. But I don't even know who it was before that, or before that, or before that. The only one that I have memorable is the
Prince.
no, that too, but Nipplegate, Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake. That's because it was like the biggest thing at the time. And then yes, Prince, because that was a phenomenal performance of.
It was raining.
Yeah, it was raining. It was, and they had him, with the backlit silhouette thing that made the guitar look like his penis.
They wanted to cancel performance the way he performed. They want him to just be in front of the mic.
Playing Purple
and just
Rain
sing.
in the rain.
That was amazing.
Man, you can't get much more gangster than
And
that.
the rain was purple
Yeah.
because of the lighting.
Yep.
That's the most Prince thing you can do, bro.
He playing that shit.
Yeah.
He bribed God.
He got it by purifying himself in the
Like, ah,
waters of Lake Minnetonka. Who was it before J-Lo and them?
That one's a gap. That one's a gap for me. I think the
Who
year
was the older
before was
person?
Beyonce. What?
It was an old person.
Oh, was it? Shit, was it Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen.
Why?
Because nobody else wanted to do it.
Well, they was scared because of Beyonce had the black power in front of all the white people.
2019 was Maroon 5, Travis Scott, and Big Boy.
It was Maroon 5.
Oh yeah. I try to forget about that one.
I do remember 2018 was Justin Timberlake when he was doing it on his own, but he had a goofy ass outfit. But Lady Gaga was 2017.
When did Bruce Springsteen do it?
1987. No.
When was Left Shark?
I'll do you one better. Why was Left Shark?
Even better, who was Left Shark?
Coldplay, 2016. Beyonce, Bruno Mars. I remember that one. 2015. Katy Perry and Lenny Kravitz. Missy
God,
Elliott.
we're fucking old.
2014. Bruno Mars, Red Hot Chili Peppers. 2013. Beyonce. 2012. Madonna. 11. Black Eyed Peas. That didn't age well. Black Eyed Peas, Usher, and Slash. 2009 was Bruce Springsteen.
Bro, what's wrong with you?
It's close.
I went off by 10 years.
Dang, what? Oh, okay, I see what it was. After Janet Jackson, they went to Bruce Springsteen.
You got a picture of Prince during the show.
I seen that whole documentary on that. It was so good.
So all in all, it's always hit or miss with them. Like, I mean, I will say I look forward to the memes. As soon as I read the Maroon 5 one, I was remembering a lot of the memes from that, where it was all like making fun of a douchebag guy for having all the tattoos. It's like, yeah. It's like they were putting up people with like drawn on Sharpie tattoos and stuff like that.
Well, it's the only reason I brought it up was I was curious because since he comes technically quote unquote from the R&B world, I was curious if he had any thoughts on it.
I just don't like him.
Okay.
I think he tries a little too hard to sound like Michael Jackson, while just being a bit more. I don't even know how to describe him.
I wouldn't even say he's like 100% R&B. I would say he's more like rock and B.
Well, again, I think
electronic.
Well,
dance.
again, I think nowadays very few things count as R&B.
That's true.
Just because definitions have changed so much, and there's so many subcategories and subgenres that, whatever would constitute as R&B nowadays just wouldn't move. It wouldn't get streams. Bless you, motherfucker.
Well, it's similar vein for rock. Like, I mean, you say rock music, most people just mean, electric guitar.
Yeah.
That's like the one defining aspect of rock music. But if you look into it, there's so many different things about it. Rock, rap, blues rock, hard rock, heavy metal. Just do different things, and all the various fucking subgenres of metal.
Nickelback.
That's.
Look at this photograph.
You ever turn to make me nerve?
Hey, man. Still slaps.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Donald Trump.
I personally liked. I like your pants around your feet. That one was really good. I always like.
Color me surprised.
Listen, man. They didn't always suck as hard as they do. They started out. They actually had some good hard rock songs, but
You saved me. You saved me.
yeah, they got into that crap, and it was like, it's fine if you have a ballad here or there, but when that becomes your entire go-to, it's like, come on, guys, come on. Anyway, so I think we're done.
They had a ballad Weezer.
Yeah, a ballad written. That's fucking stepping on my territory, man.
That was a rock. A
Rap.
A war.
War.
What a Ryan. A war.
I've got a wet ass Ryan for you. And on that note, I think we're gonna wrap it up. You got anything else to talk about?
No.
Wrap it up.
No. Wrap it up every time. All right. So thank you for joining us. Fun little show we had today. Paul is utterly disheartened.
He's devastated.
He's devastated.
Mainly because I have to work in 8 hours.
And he doesn't have Lisa Bonet to comfort him.
That's true.
A D nice.
Denise.
So, to my left, P Breezy.
What up, though?
To my right, D Easy. The new,
Devastated summer.
the devastated summer. Devastated Slim. And I'm Ryan B. Online. Thank you again for joining us. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
They said Jason Momoa was devastated.